So you want to talk about the best cars in the world? All right, buckle up because we're about to take a deep dive into a list that's absolutely packed with luxury, speed, and innovation.
And best, you know, it's always subjective, right? But the list that we're looking at here, it actually takes a very balanced approach. It considers performance, luxury, innovation, and even reliability. It's a pretty comprehensive way to look at it.
Oh, definitely.
Mhm.
We've got everything from iconic sports cars to EVs that are seriously changing the game to ultra-luxury cruisers that are practically land yachts.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm already getting some serious car envy just thinking about it.
Well, let's kick things off with the epitome of automotive luxury. We're talking about the Rolls-Royce Phantom. Imagine being chauffeured through the city in complete silence, surrounded by the finest materials you can imagine.
I mean, the Phantom, it's basically synonymous with luxury, right?
hmm
But what is it that really makes it stand out? Is it just the crazy price tag, or is there something more to it?
It's definitely more than just the price tag. It's the attention to detail, the craftsmanship. You're looking at a handcrafted interior, a ride that's whisper quiet, and a level of customization that's just unparalleled. I mean, you can choose from an insane array of leathers, woods, paint colors. They even offer this starlight headliner that basically mimics the night sky.
Wait, a Starlight headliner. That's wild. It's like you're bringing the cosmos into your car.
Exactly. And when we say bespoke customization, we're not just talking about picking from a catalog.
All right, so it's more than just options and packages.
Way more. Rolls-Royce will actually work with you to create a car that is genuinely one of a kind. So if you want your family crest embroidered on the headrests, no problem. A humidor for your favorite cigars, consider it done. They are all about crafting a vehicle that is a reflection of you, your own individual taste and style.
Wow, that's next level luxury. It's not even just about the car itself. It's like the whole experience, the feeling of owning something truly unique. But let's shift gears a bit from handcrafted elegance to cutting-edge technology. I mean, the Mercedes-Benz S-Class is often described as like a spaceship on wheels. I can totally see why.
The S-Class, it's always been known for being at the forefront of automotive technology. Think advanced safety systems, an interior that's super comfortable, with massage seats and enough screens to rival a home theater.
And I've heard it can basically drive itself. Is that actually true or is that just hype?
Well, the S-Class, it definitely has some of the most advanced driver assistance systems out there. I mean, things like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking. They all work together to create this driving experience that's safer, but also way less stressful. I mean, it's not fully autonomous just yet, but it's getting pretty close.
So it's not just about the luxury, right? It's about pushing the boundaries of what a car can actually do.
Right.
Mercedes is clearly making a statement here. Like, they want to be the leaders when it comes to automotive innovation.
Without a doubt. They've consistently set the bar for what a luxury sedan should be, and the S-Class is a perfect example of that. But let's change things up again. Let's talk about a car that's all about performance and pure driving pleasure, the Porsche 911. I mean, it's an icon, it's a legend, it's a dream car for so many people.
The 911 is a classic. I mean, its design is timeless and the performance is legendary. But I always thought it was more of a weekend toy, not really something you could use every day.
Yeah, that's a pretty common misconception, actually. While the 911 is a performance machine for sure, Porsche has done a fantastic job of making it practical for everyday driving. It's comfortable, surprisingly spacious, and it can absolutely handle all the demands of, your everyday commute.
So you're saying I could actually commute in a 911? That's tempting. But would I miss out on that raw, visceral experience that Porsche is so famous for?
Not a chance. The 911 is still a driver's car at heart. It's all about that connection between the driver and the machine. The super precise steering, the incredibly responsive engine, the way you can feel the road beneath you. I mean, it's all there. But now you get to enjoy that experience every single day, not just on the weekends.
Now that is the best of both worlds. You get the thrill of a sports car icon, but also the practicality of a daily driver.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about a car that takes performance to a whole other level, the Ferrari SF90 Stradale. This is Ferrari's first plug-in hybrid, and it's seriously a masterpiece of engineering.
The SF90 Stradale, it's a hypercar that combines this insane V8 engine with 3 electric motors. And we're talking about a total output of 986 horsepower. It can go from 0 to 60 in under 2.5 seconds and has a top speed of over 211 miles per hour.
Those numbers are crazy.
Ah.
But I'm curious, how does the hybrid system actually work? Does it, take away from that classic Ferrari driving experience?
Actually, it enhances it. The electric motors provide instant torque, So the SF90 Stradale just launches off the line with incredible speed. And the electric motors can power individual wheels, so the car's handling becomes even more precise, even more agile.
So it's not just about adding electric power for the sake of it.
Right.
It's about using that power to create a truly amazing driving experience. Ferrari's not just following the trend, they're like redefining it.
Exactly. The SF90 Stradale is a statement. Ferrari's embracing the future of performance, but they're doing it without sacrificing any of their signature power or style. And speaking of pushing the boundaries of electric performance, we have to talk about the Tesla Model S Plaid.
This is the electric car that's been breaking records and turning heads everywhere. It's known for its insane acceleration and crazy long range, but what makes it stand out from other electric cars?
The Model S Plaid, it's all about pushing the limits of what electric power can do. It's got a tri-motor setup that cranks out over 1,020 horsepower. I mean, it's the quickest production car ever built. 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds and a range of over 400 miles.
Wow, those are some serious stats. But is it just about speed? What about the overall driving experience?
Oh, Tesla definitely designed the Model S Plaid to be the complete package. It has a sleek, minimalist interior, a massive touchscreen, and a whole bunch of advanced driver assistance features. It's a car that's incredibly technologically advanced, but also super fun to drive.
So it's not just about being eco-friendly, it's about changing how people think about electric cars.
Mm-hmm.
Tesla's proving that performance and sustainability can absolutely go hand in hand.
Absolutely. The Model S Plaid's a game changer, and it's really pushing other automakers to step up their game. But let's move away from the world of high-performance sedans for a second and talk about something a little more rugged. The Range Rover. I mean, it's the epitome of SUV luxury and renowned for its go-anywhere capability.
The Range Rover has this unique appeal, right? It's luxurious and stylish, but also insanely capable off-road. It's like a
Wow.
Swiss Army knife of vehicles. Who is this car actually for?
It's for anyone who wants it all, really. I mean, it's for the family that needs space and comfort for those long road trips, but it's also for, the adventurer who wants to explore the great outdoors. It's for the city dweller who appreciates the style and sophistication, but it's also for the off-road enthusiast who demands real capability.
So it's a car for people who refuse to compromise. They want the luxury, they want the performance, and they want to be able to go anywhere, anytime. I'm starting to get why it's so popular.
The Range Rover's blend of luxury and ruggedness is truly unique. It's a seriously versatile vehicle, and it's earned its reputation as, like, the king of SUVs. But let's dive back into the world of hybrid supercars for a minute. We've got the McLaren Artura, another impressive entry on our list, and it takes a very different approach than the Ferrari SF90 Stradale.
Yeah, we saw how Ferrari combines hybrid tech with their signature performance.
Yeah.
So what makes the McLaren Artura special? Is it just another hybrid supercar, or is there something more to it?
The Artura, it's all about lightweight construction and driver-focused dynamics. It's powered by a twin-turbocharged V6 engine and an electric motor, delivering a total of 671 horsepower. But what's really impressive is the weight. It's significantly lighter than the Ferrari SF90 Stradale, which gives it a real edge in terms of handling and agility.
So while the Ferrari is all about brute force and raw power, McLaren is more about finesse and precision.
Exactly. McLaren has always been known for building cars that are incredibly engaging to drive, and the Artura definitely follows that philosophy. It's a car that truly rewards a driver who wants to push it to its limits.
Sounds like a totally different driving experience from the Ferrari, but, equally thrilling in its own way. Clearly, McLaren is carving out its own niche in this hybrid supercar market, focusing on a more purist approach.
They're definitely not just following the trend. They're forging their own path. And that brings us to another luxury EV that's shaking things up, the BMW i7. What happens when you combine BMW's reputation for, performance and luxury with the latest electric vehicle technology?
I mean, BMW is known for making driver's cars, but also for their luxurious interiors and cutting-edge tech. So I'm curious how they've translated that into an electric vehicle. What does luxury EV even look like?
The BMW i7 is all about creating a sanctuary on wheels. It's got this spacious and luxurious interior with reclining rear seats, a panoramic sunroof, and a Bowers & Wilkins diamond surround sound system. But it's also packed with technology, like a 31.3-inch 8K rear seat entertainment system and a curved display that spans the entire dashboard.
So it's like a first-class lounge on wheels.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing, but how does it perform? Can an electric car really live up to the whole BMW legacy of driving performance?
Well, the i7 may not be a sports car, but it's definitely no slouch. It's powered by 2 electric motors that deliver 536 horsepower, and it can go from 0 to 60 in under 4.5 seconds. But more importantly, it's incredibly smooth and refined. It just glides over the road effortlessly, so the driving experience is both exhilarating and serene.
It seems like BMW is aiming for a different type of buyer with the i7. Someone who values luxury and comfort above all else, but still wants a car that's technologically advanced and can deliver, a thrilling drive when they need it.
Exactly. The i7 is proof that electric vehicles can be luxurious, stylish, and fun to drive. It's a car that challenges the traditional ideas of what a luxury car should be. But let's shift from those sleek sedans to something a bit more, well, striking. The Audi e-tron GT. This electric sports car, I mean, it's a head-turner with its design, but what's it actually like to drive?
The e-tron GT looks like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie. It has this low-slung profile, these sharp lines, and aggressive stance. It definitely commands attention. But I'm more interested in what's under the hood,
Yeah.
How does Audi's first electric sports car stack up against the competition?
The e-tron GT is a technological marvel. It's got two electric motors that pump out a combined 522 horsepower and can go from 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. But it's not just about straight-line speed. The e-tron GT is also incredibly agile and responsive, all thanks to its sophisticated all-wheel drive system and its low center of gravity.
So it's not just about looking fast, it actually is fast. And it handles well, too.
Oh, absolutely. The e-tron GT is a proper sports car. It's a blast to drive, but it's also incredibly refined and luxurious. You're looking at a beautifully crafted interior and tons of advanced features. It's a car that speaks to both your head and your heart.
It sounds like Audi really put a lot of thought into the entire package with the e-tron GT. They didn't just make an electric car, they made an Audi that happens to be electric. It's a statement about their commitment to the future of, performance and sustainability.
Exactly. The e-tron GT is a sign of what's to come. It's a glimpse into a future where electric cars aren't just, practical and efficient, they're also desirable and exciting. But let's talk about a car that represents, in a way, the end of an era. The Lamborghini Aventador Ultiме. This is the last of the naturally aspirated V12 Lamborghinis, and it's a fitting farewell to a legend.
The Aventador is an icon. Its aggressive styling, that powerful engine, and the sound, that unmistakable sound have made it legendary among, supercar enthusiasts. But with the Ultiме, Lamborghini is closing the chapter. What is it about this final edition that makes it so special?
The Aventador Ultiме, it's a celebration of everything that makes a Lamborghini. It's powered by a 6.5-liter V12 engine that puts out 769 horsepower. This is the most powerful Aventador ever built. Top speed over 220 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. But more importantly, it's a visceral emotional experience. The sound of that V12 engine is something that will send chills down your spine.
It's like a dinosaur, roaring its final defiance before extinction. It's a bittersweet moment for car enthusiasts. But why is Lamborghini moving away from these naturally aspirated engines? Is it just because of emissions regulations?
It's bigger than that. The whole automotive industry is in the middle of a major shift, and electrification is the main force behind it. Even Lamborghini, a brand known for its powerful engines, is embracing this future. The Aventador Ultiме is a bridge between the past and the future. It's a reminder of what we're leaving behind, but also a glimpse of what's to come.
It's a fascinating time to be a car enthusiast. We're witnessing the end of one era, but we're also right on the edge of something completely new and exciting. The future of performance is electric, and I'm excited to see where it takes us.
Yeah, the Aventador Ultime's swan song, it really does show how the idea of best is changing. It's not just about raw horsepower anymore.
That's a good point. It feels like we're at this turning point where performance and sustainability are, merging. Look at the Tesla Model S Plaid. It's totally changing the rules for what an electric car can do.
It really is. It's the perfect example of how electric powertrains can deliver that mind-blowing performance. The Model S Plaid's acceleration is just ridiculous. It makes you wonder if we'll all be driving silent electric rocket ships in the future.
I've got to admit, the thought of experiencing that instant torque, it's pretty tempting. But will we lose something along the way? Will that visceral thrill of a roaring engine, will that become a thing of the past?
Well, there's no question that the sound and feel of a combustion engine are part of what makes driving so exciting. Cars like the Aventador Ultiме, they remind us of that raw, visceral connection.
It's a unique sensation, for sure. That feeling of raw power right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
But maybe electric performance will offer its own kind of thrills. Maybe it'll be about experiencing a different kind of power, one that's more refined, more controlled.
Maybe. But let's not get too lost in the future just yet. We've talked about performance, luxury, even off-road capability. But there's another really important element when we talk about the best cars: innovation. And when it comes to innovation, the Mercedes-Benz S-Class is always pushing the boundaries.
The S-Class has always been a leader when it comes to car tech. It's like a showcase of what's possible. What are some of the key innovations that make it so special?
Well, for one, it's got one of the most advanced augmented reality heads-up displays out there. It takes things like navigation prompts and other important info and displays them right on the windshield. It makes for a driving experience that's seamless and intuitive.
I've read about that tech and it sounds amazing, like something out of science fiction. But beyond those flashy features, is there real substance to those innovations?
Oh, absolutely. The S-Class isn't just about fancy gadgets, it's about using technology to actually improve safety, comfort, and convenience. Take the advanced driver assistance systems, for example. They can help prevent accidents, make driving less stressful, and make it more enjoyable overall.
That's a really important point. Innovation shouldn't be about adding unnecessary bells and whistles, right? It should be about making a real, tangible difference to the driving experience.
Exactly. And the S-Class really embodies that philosophy. Speaking of enhancing the driving experience, let's talk about a car that does it in a totally different way. The Range Rover.
The Range Rover is in a class of its own. It manages to blend that rugged off-road capability with unparalleled luxury. You could conquer a mountain trail in the morning and then show up at a fancy event that evening, and it wouldn't even break a sweat.
It's true. The Range Rover's versatility is remarkable. It's just as comfortable navigating a muddy trail as it is cruising down a city street.
But how does it manage to do both? Is it just, all show? Or is there some real substance behind its off-road skills?
Oh, the Range Rover's capabilities are definitely real. It has a really sophisticated all-wheel drive system, adjustable air suspension, and a whole suite of off-road driving modes. All of that means it can handle some pretty challenging terrain.
It's like a serious off-road machine wearing a tuxedo. All right, let's change gears again and dive back into the world of supercars. The Ferrari SF90 Stradale and the McLaren Artura, they're both at the cutting edge of hybrid supercar technology. What are the main differences between these two exotic machines?
The Ferrari SF90 Stradale is a true hypercar, no doubt. It's focused on pure power and aggressive performance. It's got this complex hybrid system that blends a V8 engine with 3 electric motors.
So it's about delivering that classic Ferrari experience, but with an electric twist.
Exactly. The electric motors not only add a boost of power, but they also make the handling and agility even better. They can actually provide torque vectoring.
That's some impressive engineering.
Yeah.
What about the McLaren Artura? How does it stand out in this, super competitive world of hybrid supercars?
The Artura takes a more purist approach. It focuses on being lightweight and giving the driver a real connection with the car. It's got a twin-turbocharged V6 engine paired with an electric motor, which gives it a lot of power. But what really makes it special is how light and agile it is.
It sounds like a more balanced, nuanced driving experience. Less about brute force and more about, precision and finesse.
Exactly. The Artura is for the driver who appreciates a more connected, intimate driving experience. But we can't forget about a true icon of performance, the Porsche 911. It's a car that has basically stood the test of time. It's always been a benchmark for what makes a great sports car.
The 911's design, it's timeless, and the performance is legendary. But what is it about this car that keeps people so fascinated generation after generation?
The 911 is a driver's car in every sense of the word. It's all about the connection between the person behind the wheel and the machine, the precision of the steering, the responsive engine, that perfectly balanced chassis. It all works together to create a driving experience that's hard to match.
It's a car you feel, not just drive, but is the 911, a bit too focused on performance to be practical for everyday driving?
That's really just a myth. While the 911 is definitely a performance car, Porsche has made it surprisingly comfortable and practical. You could easily drive it every day and not have to give up any of the thrill.
So I can have my cake and eat it too. I can have a legendary sports car that I can also use to get to work.
Exactly. The 911 proves that you don't have to compromise. You really can have it all. But let's shift our focus to the stars of the electric vehicle market. The Tesla Model S Plaid and the Audi e-tron GT. These cars aren't just good for the environment, they're completely changing what we thought was possible with electric performance.
The Model S Plaid has been making a lot of noise with its record-breaking acceleration and that impressive range. But what about the Audi e-tron GT? How does it compare to, the Tesla powerhouse?
The e-tron GT is Audi's way of showing the world that they're serious about electric performance. It's a car that represents their commitment to that performance, but without sacrificing their style and sophistication.
It definitely looks impressive. It has a very aggressive, sporty look with that low profile and those sharp lines. But how does it handle? Does it actually live up to the sporty design?
The e-tron GT is more than just good looks. It's a really capable sports car. It's got dual electric motors that provide a lot of power and torque, but it's also very refined and luxurious. The interior is beautifully crafted, and it has all the latest tech features.
Sounds like Audi has created a really well-rounded car here. They didn't just take an existing car and make it electric. They designed the e-tron GT from the ground up to be a true Audi, with all the performance, luxury, and tech that you'd expect.
Exactly. The e-tron GT gives us a glimpse into the future of Audi, and it's looking pretty good. But let's change direction again and talk about a car that offers a different kind of luxury. The BMW i7.
The i7 is BMW's top-of-the-line electric sedan, and it's going head-to-head with cars like the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. But what makes the i7 stand out in this crowded luxury EV market?
The i7 is all about creating a sanctuary on wheels. It's a car that's designed to shut out the noise and stress of the outside world. It's all about traveling in comfort and style.
So it's not really about sporty performance. It's more about creating a luxurious and peaceful driving experience.
Exactly. The i7 is a car to be enjoyed, not rushed. It's about savoring the journey, not just getting to your destination. It's got a spacious, luxurious interior, a super quiet electric powertrain, and all the latest technology. All of that combines to create a truly unique and luxurious experience.
It sounds like BMW is targeting a specific type of buyer with the i7, someone who values comfort and luxury above everything else.
You got it. The i7 is for people who appreciate the finer things in life and want to experience the future of luxury travel.
It's fascinating to see how all these different car makers are approaching this luxury EV segment. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding the perfect balance of performance, technology, and luxury to appeal to a certain type of buyer.
That's a great observation, and you can really see that reflected in this list of the world's best cars. From the super high-performance Tesla Model S Plaid to the ultra-luxurious Rolls-Royce Phantom, there's something for everyone.
And that's what makes this list so interesting. It's not just about showing off the most expensive cars or the fastest ones. It's about highlighting all the different types of cars out there and the incredible innovation that's happening in every segment.
I agree. It's a celebration of car design, both the art and the science. And it shows the passion and creativity of the people who make these incredible machines.
It's inspiring to see how far car technology has come and to think about what the future holds. But before we get too carried away with the future, let's take a moment to appreciate what we have now. We've talked about a lot of amazing cars today, and each one has something special about it.
We have. We've looked at everything from the ultimate in luxury to the latest in performance and technology. It's been a great journey.
It has. But before we finish this deep dive, I want to go back to something we discussed earlier. The way the definition of luxury is changing. It's not just about having a fancy interior and a ton of features anymore. It's about creating an experience that's tailored to the individual needs and desires of the driver.
That's a really important point. Luxury is becoming more personalized, more experiential. It's about how a car makes you feel, not just how it looks.
And I think that's a trend we'll keep seeing in the years to come. As cars get more connected and technologically advanced, luxury will be less about material things and more about creating a smooth and enjoyable driving experience.
I think so too. The luxury cars of the future, they'll be intuitive and intelligent. They'll be able to predict what we need and what we prefer, and they'll fit seamlessly into our digital lives.
Sounds a bit like something from a science fiction movie, right?
It does. But the technology's already here. It's just a matter of time before it becomes standard in all luxury cars.
I'm excited about that prospect,
Mm.
but I'm also a little intimidated. But I guess that's how progress works. It keeps pushing us forward, whether we're ready or not.
That's a great way to put it. And I think that leads us perfectly into the final part of our deep dive. We've explored all these incredible cars from around the world, but now it's time to ask the big question. What will the best cars of the future look like?
So we've gone from the handcrafted luxury of Rolls-Royce Phantom to the silent power of a Tesla Model S Plaid, and even experienced the raw emotion of that, like final roar from a Lamborghini.
And it's interesting, isn't it? This whole list of best cars, it really reflects a world that's changing. You know, the traditional ideas of what makes a car luxurious or high performance, they're being challenged by new technologies and, well, just shifting priorities.
Totally. Like we saw how hybrid technology is changing even those like super iconic supercar brands like Ferrari and McLaren. And then there's Tesla, totally disrupting everything with their electric vehicles that are insanely fast, but also surprisingly practical.
It really makes you wonder what'll define the best cars in the world 10 years from now, you know? Will electric powertrains be everywhere? Will autonomous driving be the main thing? Or will there always be a place for that, like, visceral thrill of actually driving a car yourself?
That's the big question, right? The automotive world is evolving so fast, it's almost impossible to know what the future holds.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure, it's going to be exciting to watch.
And that's what makes this whole topic so fascinating. The future of cars is like a blank canvas, and the possibilities are endless. Our sources might not have all the answers, but they do offer some pretty interesting hints about what might be coming our way.
Okay, lay it on me. What kind of hints are we talking about? Give me a glimpse into the automotive future.
Well, one thing we're seeing is a growing focus on personalization. Imagine a car that adapts to you, to your driving style, your mood, even your schedule. A car that learns what you like and anticipates your needs.
Now that's interesting. A car that knows I need an extra shot of espresso on Monday mornings and turns up the seat warmers when it's cold outside. Where do I sign up?
Exactly. And think about the possibilities for sustainability. We could see cars made from recycled materials, powered by renewable energy. Maybe they could even send energy back to the grid when they're not being used.
Okay, now you're just showing off with all these futuristic ideas. But seriously, it's pretty exciting to think about how tech could change not just the driving experience, but also a car's impact on the environment.
And that's where it gets really interesting. The best cars of the future won't just be about luxury, performance, and innovation. They'll also be about responsibility and sustainability.
So it's not just about how a car makes you feel when you're driving it, but also how it affects the world around you.
Exactly. The best cars of the future will be those that can blend performance, luxury, and innovation with, like, a real respect for the environment.
I like that. It's a more holistic way of looking at what makes a car great. It's not just about the individual, it's about the bigger picture.
And that brings us to the core of this whole deep dive. We've explored all these amazing cars, each one special in its own way. But at the end of the day, the idea of what makes a car the best is really personal. It comes down to what matters most to each individual.
So what does best mean to you, dear listener? Is it the incredible performance of a hybrid supercar, the handcrafted luxury of a custom-made limo,
Yeah.
or the quiet power of an electric car? Maybe it's a mix of all those things, or maybe it's something else entirely.
The great thing about the world of cars is that there's so much variety, so many different things for different people. There's no single right answer.
Exactly. What matters is to be open-minded and to be excited about what's possible. The future of cars is bright, and I think there are a lot of surprises in store for us.
So as you're out there driving, keep your eyes open for those game-changing innovations, those designs that take you by surprise, and those moments of pure driving joy that remind us why we love cars.
And who knows, maybe someday you'll find yourself behind the wheel of what you consider to be the best car in the world.
Until then, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep enjoying the ride.
That's the perfect way to wrap things up. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of amazing cars.
It was my pleasure.
And to all our listeners, until next time, happy driving.